Since 2002, over 7.5 million students have learned about their level of learning readiness by taking the SmarterMeasure Learning Readiness Indicator. Over 1,000 institutions have used the assessment to equip advisors, counselors, admissions officers, and faculty to have informed conversations with their students that foster learner success and retention. Hi, I'm Dr. Mac Adkins, founder and chief academic officer for SmarterServices. One of the questions that we are frequently asked by schools that are considering adding the assessment as a student support tool is where in the student experience they should position it. In this blog, I'll review the most common ways that schools implement SmarterMeasure. We coach our clients by saying that there is no right or wrong place to position the assessment, but that there may be optimal locations in their student workflow. We collaborate with schools to learn about their processes and existing tools to recommend an optimal placement. In addition to the content provided in this blog, if your school would like to have a conversation with us about the lessons we've learned in working with hundreds of schools, just let us know, and we'll be glad to schedule a call. The most common places that we see the assessment positioned are in the admissions process, as an assignment in an orientation course, as a part of a first-year experience program, as an element of a quality enhancement plan, integrated into a course such as a student success course, and as an advising tool. Let's explore each of these options more closely, including examples of institutions using each model. On each slide is the LinkedIn information for a contact person at the institution whom you can reach out to for more information. Some schools, such as Miller-Mott Technical College, position SmarterMeasure in the admissions process. When schools do this, they are careful to explain to students that the assessment is not a gatekeeper, but it's a tool to help the school to get to know the students better. If students perceive the assessment as a barrier, they might be more likely to game the assessment by giving the answers they think the school wants to hear. But when schools explain that SmarterMeasure is just one of several assessments and surveys that they ask students to take, well, this clarifies the student's perception. SmarterMeasure is not designed as a tool that schools would use to screen out students, but rather it's a tool to enlighten students about their strengths and opportunities for growth, as well as to alert schools to students who may need additional support to be successful. When schools position SmarterMeasure in the admissions process, then typically someone in the admissions office will have instructed the applicant to complete SmarterMeasure. Upon admission, a student success advisor or instructor will follow up with the student about their levels of readiness and what the school can do to help the student be successful. Someone at Miller-Mott who you can reach out to about this implementation model is Stephanie Nadja, who serves as the manager of academic programs. One of the most common places to position the assessment, and well, my personal favorite location, is in an orientation course. Dr. Cindy Parker, Vice President of Online Education at Johnson & Wales University, would be glad to speak with you about how they've integrated SmarterMeasure into their orientation course. They task every accepted new student to take SmarterMeasure as a part of a checklist. The general tone of an orientation course is one in which the student is welcome to the institution and they share student services that the school offers to help the student be successful. This context is a great time to ask students to complete the assessment since it's early in the student experience and they can be equipped with the resources they need to get off to a strong start. Many orientation courses have modules designed to share information with students regarding topics such as time management, controlling procrastination, seeking help from instructors, and requesting technical support. Schools have learned that when they first have students take SmarterMeasure, that this then lets the student know the degree to which these topics are applicable to them. Orientation courses vary in length, often ranging from 3 hours to 3 days, 3 weeks, or even up to 3 months. But regardless of the duration of the course, schools typically embed SmarterMeasure as an assignment in the course and then point students back to their scores as the topics in the course are explored. Also, by positioning the assessment in an orientation course, the student has already been accepted for admissions, so they're less likely to provide responses they think would give them an advantage over other students. Typically, orientation courses have an instructor or someone facilitating the course. As is done at Middlesex Community College, their staff monitor the students' results and sends emails to those students with low scores and provide them with resources and trainings. Some schools provide what are called first-year experience programs. Often these programs are longer than an orientation course and may span the entire period of one's freshman year. These programs are designed to keep students who are new to the college experience engaged so that they persist and succeed. One school that positions SmarterMeasure into their first-year experience program is the Lone Star College System. Dr. Aaron Salas is the Executive Director of First-Year Experience for Lone Star, and he'd be glad to tell you about how they've measured the readiness of over 300,000 students. Since FYE programs often span a period longer than an orientation course, some schools use the disaggregate mode of SmarterMeasure, which allows students to take the assessment one section at a time. This gives the school personnel more time to reflect with the students about their specific levels of readiness in areas such as life factors, individual attributes, and technical competency. Another school that deploys SmarterMeasure in their FYE program is Somerset Community College. After taking the assessment, they schedule students to have a one-on-one coaching to set goals based on their assessment results. They have also built resources that they refer students to and provide weekly informational sessions on topics such as time management, study skills, mental health, stress management, and more for their students. A Quality Enhancement Plan, sometimes referred to as a QEP, is a requirement of schools which are accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. The QEP is a document that the school produces that articulates a plan for improving some element of supporting the student learning environment. One facet of student success that several schools have focused on is increasing awareness of and then supporting factors of learner readiness. One person involved in this process is Dr. Chance Witherspoon, Director of E-Learning at Cleveland Community College. The topic and title of their QEP is Strengthening Online Learning. The two measurable goals of their QEP are improving student success in a cohort of online courses by 7.5 percentage points and decreasing student withdrawals in a cohort of online courses by 3.5 percentage points. Since QEPs call for measurable objectives, SmarterMeasure is a good fit since it provides a quantitative measure of learner readiness that can be used as a baseline to compute program effectiveness. Plus, SmarterMeasure data is easy to export for analysis into third-party software such as SPSS. SmarterMeasure is a natural fit within an academic or a student success course. Dr. Dina Nilsson of Nightingale College created a new learner success course for students in their first semester. As a part of this course, a counselor is assigned to each student who meets with the student to discuss their SmarterMeasure scores. Another good example is Southern Regional Technical College. They place the assessment in the College 1500 Student Success course, in which they assign their students to take SmarterMeasure, and then the following week they are assigned to take the Focus to Explore Career Planning Survey. They then analyze the results of these two instruments with the students. Other schools have implemented SmarterMeasure into traditional academic courses. One such example was a school that assigned SmarterMeasure during week 1 of an English 101 course. They then asked the students to write a 2-page reflective paper on their levels of readiness. This not only prompted the students to think about their scores, but provided an early writing sample that, being personal and unique, could not be generated by an AI writing tool. Ottawa University assigned SmarterMeasure in an orientation course, and students then have a required reflective essay due to prompt reflection on their scores. Then their academic advisor provides personalized feedback to each student and can refer them to specific resources that would be of most relevance to the student. The University of Arizona Online also provides SmarterMeasure as a part of their Next Steps Center. They've equipped their success coaches with student reports so that they can have personalized coaching conversations with the students. Other places in the student experience in which SmarterMeasure has been integrated include during the student recruitment phase or as a requirement to register for an online course. The important thing is not so much where you give the assessment, but just that you do provide students with an experience that prompts them to identify and reflect on their levels of readiness and follow that up by pairing it with resources for support that your school provides. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for someone at the institution to follow up with the students about their scores. If you'd like more information about SmarterMeasure, please just let me know.